Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thursday nights at Rangers Football Club. It is four lads, instant match reaction, unbelievable result and performance by the team tonight in Turkey, joined by Kenny and Andrew to talk about a pulsating 100 odd minutes when you include the added on time, in which Rangers win 3-1 in Turkey, scored two that were offside, created other chances. They were just magnificent, and we're going to go through it all. Wow, I've hardly stopped since the whistle went just a couple of minutes ago, but unbelievable result for the football club. We'll come to the boys in just a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, just before we go on any further, such sad news today, the loss of Christopher Potter, one of our supporters that went over to Turkey. Christopher went home and away everywhere, was well known to us on Four Lads with his kind of conversations online and stuff like that. He posted a video of his wee fella Teddy, and we send much love from everyone here to the friends and family. And that one tonight, Christopher, is for you, my man. What a result for Rangers tonight. What a performance. Kenny, where do you start with that one?
Still trying to catch my breath. That was an incredible game of football to watch, and fair play to each and every one of the boys tonight. I thought we stood up to a man and played really well. And being honest, Stevie, I thought they were quite lucky to get out 3-1 because you know yourself, we're going to talk about it, but we created a lot of chances there, and everybody from Butland right through played really, really well tonight, and I am proud of every one of them. Proud of Barry for the performance his team have put in, and the little surprise change of formation and all that. I just thought we were sensational. When I come off here, mate, I'm having a beer because I need one.
Andrew, Rangers were sensational in that. We discussed it beforehand, and I suggested on the group chat, could it be three at the back with Ridvan and Tav? And we weren't sure how he was going to go, but he got it absolutely spot on. And Fenerbahce did create chances and they did have pressure, but by goodness, that defence defended well. The midfield were good, and Rangers were. It was a surprise, but they started off so well, and then they got that breakthrough. Before we talk about the goal, what was your thoughts on the selection in Barry's lineup?
Well, I think everyone. I was in work when I seen the Twitter notification of the starting 11, and I went, right, let's have a look. And you go goalie down first, and you're thinking, okay, that's interesting. And then you start to go through the intricacies in your head. Could he do this? Could he do that? He did. He picked the perfect option. I think he's absolutely out-thunk Josie. I don't think that Fenerbahce were even considering we were going to do something like that. I think just you could see that in the opening stages that there was kind of an almost, well, let's see what they do, because we kind of did just throw the joker out of the pack, and it's worked. It's pulled. I'm absolutely blown away because I don't think this game could have went any better for us, to be honest. I think of all the ways you could have seen it going from the first whistle, we looked confident, and yeah, we started quickly and we didn't concede two within 20 minutes.
We didn't, and funnily enough, the first real spell of pressure took Rangers right up to the park, and then having played so well in a 30-second spell, we lost the ball. And then two ricochets. Diamandi closes it down. Czerny, I think it is next to go and close it down. It breaks to Cyril Dessers, Andrew. And this is where he's good because he doesn't have time to think. Rounds the goalie, puts it in. My eyes immediately on the referee. He pings his watch, signals the goal, and we're off and running 1-0. And it was wonderful by Dessers. The pressure was good. The press was good. We've talked about that. Keep them high. They done it. Dessers tucks that away. And as McCoy said, it was perfect. He had to put it exactly where he did. And he did.
Yeah, I think Costi also said that his touch that takes him around the keeper's on his left, so he just has to hit it with his right. There's no messing about. It's a striker's finish. I have to give a lot of credit to Dio and Czerny in terms of the pouncing on a kind of a mix up there on the back line. A very Rangers-esque mix up, I have to say. The centre back or the deep line centre mid wanting a wee bit too much time on the ball, and first instinct there is you need to hoof that long or hoof it out for a shy, and they didn't, and we pounced, and Cyril, oh my God, the performance, I'm sure we'll get into it. That man unbelievable. We've given him a lot of, shouts across the season, some right, some wrong, but that performance was inspired. That was superb from the man. I'm going to sound like Coisty how many times I'm going to say superb tonight, because it was just that. It was an incredible shift from him and also everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely was. We'll come to individuals soon, but Kenny, Fenerbahce would press. Jack Butland has a couple of good saves, and then we have a moment where he wipes out Proper. He's indecisive. He doesn't come, and then the pressure that Proper goes off for Balogun, who comes on and was absolutely fantastic. Proper looked like he didn't know what day it was when he was going off. It reminded me of The Hangover when they wake up in Vegas in the hotel room and your man's trying to get his glasses on. That was a gif I put out on Twitter because he was looking about going, what's going on? And then obviously that equaliser comes. And I've heard people criticise Butland for it. I don't. It's right there. It's whipped at him so fast. He's about 5 yards away. Just an unfortunate one. That's where you need a wee bit more physicality, I think. But we lose that goal, Kenny, and it's probably at that point it was coming.
Yeah, they had put pressure on us. It pinned us a little bit further back than we'd like to be. But I actually thought initially, on my notes, I had actually put initially that I thought Butland could have done better. But when you're seeing the replay, no, you can't. It's just really well hit. Butland's not going to expect that. The boys basically, it's a kind of almost a scissor kick. You're not seeing that coming. And it's at pace. So I have no problem with Butland for that. I do have a little bit of a problem with him for the Proper incident. I think it's his fault. I hate seeing a keeper do that. The minute they hesitate around about the 18-yard line, it's a recipe for disaster, and that's what we got. And I felt sorry for Proper because he got clattered. But with hindsight here, I'm going to say Balogun coming on, Balogun in that second half was immense. Absolutely ridiculous how good he was in that second half. So, yeah, feel sorry for Robin Proper. He's just not had his troubles to seek at Rangers. But listen, we'll come on here, but I'll talk about that again, our reaction to that, because we could have crumbled, we could have folded, found ourselves under real pressure, but we really did well there.
Well, if it was Scotland, we probably would have crumbled, Kenny, but they do bounce back, and then all of a sudden Tierney gets it in a bit of a space in midfield, and we were getting plenty in there. We were getting so many times. There was a couple of times where the final ball, we just didn't get it. This time Tierney gets it. Dessers pulls off brilliantly, makes his space. One pass in, and you're thinking, right, Cyril, take a touch. Nope. Plays it straight back across. And it was funny because people of my vintage will see that 2008 run, Jean-Claude Darcheville finish in Lisbon, all over their head, because that's what I seen. In comes Tierney, tucks it away brilliantly. Rangers lead 2-1. And it was just, was it deserved? I think Fenerbahce, having their best spell, had equalised, but it was what a time, boys, for Rangers to equalise, and what a lovely goal it was as well, Andrew.
Yeah, I was a wee bit closer to nowadays. I was thinking it was the reverse of the Lovelace assist to Dessers at Tannadice not too long ago. Just that, not having to have a second thought about it. As soon as he gets the ball, it goes straight back across. And Tierney, I mean, it's also, I give credit to Cyril for this, knowing your teammate. I don't think Giannis would have had the pace to get to the ball, but knowing Tierney, his quick step is immense. And he does so well to go back across the keeper, because the keeper's coming out to get the ball. He's not quick enough to get the ball and pick it up to get the first contact on it. But Tierney's finish to go low away from him was superb. And I think it is that we didn't fold. We were strong, and there was we're not going to give up and we're going to keep going. And I think in the long run that goal is more than deserved. As I'm sure we'll get onto some of the goals we didn't get. I think the individual play from Cyril, but also the linking up with Václav, again, those two superb. That's your counter at 2 for the superb, but that comes from hard work, and those two were the top when it comes to that metric tonight. They ran their socks off, and that goal comes from that hard work.
Inspired move by Barry Ferguson to give Tierney a free roll and let him play around that middle of the park because he kept popping up in little spaces. He wasn't restricted to the right or the left. He almost played, Kenny, you'll know this, he almost played like a Loudrop role where you were allowed to just go and play wherever you wanted and pick up that ball. And obviously we're on different realms of player because Brian was really special, but Tierney was good tonight, Kenny. But within 7 minutes of that second half, Rangers could and probably should have been out of sight. They were a ball here either side. Now, we got the break with the goal because it was an inch of being over on the other side with the first one. Nico Raskin pops in from the left, drills a shot, keeper pushes it out, Dessers scores offside, and then it's a lovely play by Diamandi. He flicks it over, releases Jeffy, just releases it too late, just a slight bit. Dessers is on the run. He's literally a boot. You know, it's toes from being offside. He's in, finishes well as Cyril does because he doesn't have to think about it. Two good finishes, both offside, and at that point, 2-1. You were just concerned slightly that it would take the wind off us, but we didn't. We continued to play well. But that little spell, Fenerbahce are lucky tonight that it was only 3. And yes, they had their chances, but Rangers' chances that they created in that second half, starting off with that little spell, was really quite good.
Listen, the situation with the first goal, it's so tight. And these are factual decisions. We know that, right? But I'm looking at that, and they showed it for about 2 seconds and took it right off the screen, didn't they? You're talking about a millimetre if it's offside, but fair enough. The second one did look offside to me and I seen the replay. It didn't at first, but when I seen the replay, I thought I think it's just offside there. But what it did show, Stevie, was that Barry had got that spot on in terms of playing into that space. And as you say, with allowing Tierney the free role, Dessers was linking up really well with him. He was able to go left. He was able to come right. And look, for me, more than anything, as you say, with Fenerbahce, you could. Andrew said it before, but come on, they were celebrating in that stadium tonight when they were getting, ruled out because they were offside, like it was a goal itself, because they were fully aware that we were carving them open over and over again. And yeah, I totally agree with you. I think what we did, and it would have been easy for our heads to go down, but we didn't. We actually dug in a little bit. And when a situation like that, your opponent is definitely going to get more geared up. They're going to get more of a purpose about them. But we coped with that, and we proceeded to create more chances, Stevie, didn't we? So fair play to that team tonight.
We did, but then there was this period of probably about 15 minutes or so where Fenerbahce put on Maximin on the left-hand side, and he was constantly putting in crosses, that bending cross, and Rangers defended really well. Suter, Balogun, and James Tavernier, a number of really good blocks or clearances, and Rangers just seen it out. It wasn't like Fenerbahce, probably the header that skiffed and went just wide was as close to, and I think that was maybe about 75 minutes. Butland had some routine saves, but it was kind of, I wasn't going to say the game was dead, that's not right, but the intensity had certainly dropped. Rangers then create a chance in the 78th minute, corner whipped in by Tav, Raskin with the effort, doesn't catch it properly, goalie saves, and at that moment you think maybe we're going to get 2-1, and we're all delighted because you would take 2-1 and then Fenerbahce have it. Rangers break out, Nico Raskin with just a sensational pass. Tierney's inside his own half. You can't have us offside this time. And just when you think, is he going to get away? He cuts just in front of the defender, which means if they bring him down, they're going off. It was wonderful by Tierney. Then he's in the goalie. It was like Rugby Park repeated when we got that first of the 4 back. He tucks it away in the corner, and it's dreamland for Rangers. Absolutely unbelievable. 3-1 up, Kenny. Andrew, both of you will bring you both in here, but that was a wonderful moment. Raskin's pass, incredible. Tierney's finish, brilliant. And just tremendous in Turkey. We had Dreamland in Deutschland, and now we have tremendous in Turkey.
Yeah, listen, what I remember was, do you remember I think was it Leon, where Tierney was 1-on-1 and put it past the post. Was it that game? Can't remember if it was necessarily that game. It was one of them. But I'll tell you what, and he's, you had the press conference with him and had a wee chat with him about it. He's not missed one of them since, Stevie. Not one. Every single one-on-one, and when he's, driving through like that, through the middle, he's hit everyone. It was a fantastic pass from Nico Raskin. And as I say, I'm quite confident next week that those spaces will still be there. So it's up to us to turn up and play as well again, because we'll create more chances yet again next week if we can exploit that. But listen, I am very, very proud of them tonight. Czerny took both his goals magnificently, but that one in particular, just so composed. It looked as if he was dead in his feet 5 minutes before it. Found a bit of pace, bit of stamina, and tucked it away in the corner. Absolutely superb. And I was jumping about this living room.
Andrew, it was a lovely moment, wasn't it?
Oh, it was incredible. I was very similar to Kenny. I was out of my seat. I think it was just, the icing on the cake for Václav in terms of the game, his performance. I feel sorry that Cyril didn't get another win in there with the first of the offside. The second one, I think he was hard done by Jeffrey, but the first one's very, very unfortunate for him. But Czerny's was rewarded for his effort tonight. I mean, you spoke about the Rugby Park goal, but it's having that pace to be in behind and having so much time. It's the same finish, but because he's got so much time to decide, the keeper can't just bank on it being that finish, because with the time he has, he can throw a curveball, he can even take him on. It was just everything about Czerny's ability that we've seen, that blistering pace and that coolness that we've seen since he clicked on early in the season. After he skied one at Ibrox in the early rounds, but that's what six goals in 9, I think it is, which I think they said was second best behind Tav in a season where he was the top goal scorer in the whole competition, and he's tied top on goal involvements as a whole. He's certainly been superb in this competition. I was thinking myself, it's great, but also he's a lone player. This is another one of these, you don't fall in love with a lone player situations, but we'll see maybe what happens in the post-season. But if he can keep up that just lethality on the break like that, then you never know, especially with, as Kenny said, those spaces will be there because they're going to need to throw things at us. They're going to have a go at Ibrox. So let's see if we can out-counter them.
Yeah, absolutely. One final bit of it was a shot the edge of the box, wasn't it? And Jack Butland gets down to his right-hand side with, quite frankly, a wonderful save. Tips it round. He had 2 really good saves tonight, Jack Butland, both of them down low. Strong hand, puts it wide, and Butland having that shaky moment with Proper. He seems to be doing these silly things in games, but undoubtedly he's a wonderful shot stopper. We know that. He just needs to get his confidence back. Big call to play him. Barry got it spot on tonight. Let's talk about man of the matches, folks, before we round up. Really difficult. Butland, 2 wonderful moments. John Souttar, so many good clearances. That block over the bar at the end of the first half. Diving in, putting his body on the line at many moments. Cyril Dessers up front, magnificent. Czerny, 2 goals, obviously, brilliant. Nico Raskin, Diamande in midfield. There's so many of them to single out. I'm sure we could all pick somebody different. So, Kenny, let's have your man of the match for that wonderful victory in Turkey.
I'm going to keep that short. Nico Raskin for me. I thought he was absolutely immense. Like for 90 minutes, I just thought he was immense. But you're bang on. You could have given it to Souttar, Balogun, Dessers, Czerny. There's a number of them. Diamande as well. I wouldn't give it to Diamande purely because he came off. He only did about 75 minutes. And that's why I'm going for Nico Raskin. But the 2 of them for me were head and shoulders. They were just sensational. So Nico Raskin for me.
Andrew?
I need to give it to Cyril. I think everything that he was asked to do tonight was spot on. To a T, he did his job superbly. Again, I said superb, God's sake. His hold-up play, even just the wee intricate give and goes with players. I mean, his first one that gets chopped off is a nice little bit of give and go with Raskin, which then lets Raskin cut in and have his shot. That all comes from just holding up the centre back and being there as for an option for Nico. I think it was that worked great. And we'll give him his man of the match as his reward for his work rate. Obviously, he maybe have preferred an extra goal or two, but a full lads post-game reaction man of the match. I'm sure that's something to celebrate for him.
I think it's really difficult not to give it to Vaclav Černý for me. If the boys have mentioned Raskin and Černý, I need to go with Raskin and Dessers, which is well deserved. I need to go with Černý, but I feel so bad for John Souttar, who I thought was immense, considering he's just back in the side, a real warrior performance. That's what John Souttar's good at, though. Very much a siege defender. I thought Leon Balogun was so good as well. James Tavernier, again, right side of centre-back, might have just found a wee spot that suits him. I said earlier on in the week on the Rangers review, Rangers needed to do something different and change up the formation. And I think, again, even on the group chat, I think Derek might have said that we wouldn't do that after only a couple of sessions with the team. But Barry got it spot on. Can't give Barry Ferguson, Neil McCann, Billy Dodge, Al McGregor, the management team, more credit than they have tonight. And we've really done well tonight. What a result it is, folks. Thank you for joining us. Rangers Thursdays continue to roll on. We'll be back at Ibrox for a matchday vlog next week, and that'll be fun as Jose Mourinho's team come to town. Andrew, pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve. It was a great night.
Kenneth, always wonderful, my friend.
You're active, man. No, listen, proud of the boys tonight. That was fantastic, Stephen.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful night for Rangers. Finally, again, I will say once more just our love and condolences out to the family of Christopher Potter, who lost his life in Turkey following the team he loves. This result's for you. Well done, the Rangers. Fabulous performance. Thanks for joining us, folks.
Four Lads podcast is sponsored by Rhino Express, Clyde Joinery, Athol Industrial Solutions Limited and CSD Air Conditioning, along with Art of Gold. Thank you for listening or watching the podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show.